Okay, picture a cell phone and an email machine all in one thing. There is a free wireless internet signal all across North America, and nobody has figured out how to use it.
Oh, this is bringing back memories. You certainly do not have to be a tech junkie to remember the Blackberry and the rise and fall of the Canadian tech giant Research in Motion.
And the drama now being brought to the big screen. Joining us this morning is Jay Baruchel and director Matt Johnson to talk about the release of Blackberry, which is hitting theaters. Good to see you both. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, as Carolyn mentioned, this is bringing back so many memories. Did either of you have a Blackberry back in the day?
Jay did. I never touched one. The first time I'd ever even held one was on set.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And there were quite a few.
We had hundreds. We had hundreds. Adam Belanger, our art director, ordered them from every place he could find.
They didn't work.
You know, we got them working.
Really?
Yes, through some complex engineering. The problem was BlackBerry just shut down their servers, so we couldn't send or receive messages. But Jay was typing away, and he's a maven. He used BlackBerry up until 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
So he could type. It was like 60, 70 WPS. You were like Mavis Beacon.
I loved them. I still miss it. I have nothing nice to say about the iPhone.
It's true.
It's a necessity.
In fact, the scene that we shot where he's watching Steve Jobs pitch the iPhone, he was not acting. That was real rage and disgust.
I abhor it. Terrible device. I have to use it now, but yeah. No.
Yeah, but what was it about the Blackberry? Is it the hard keyboard everybody talks about?
Well, you can't beat that, number one. And that it wasn't filled with a bunch of crap, and it was just like for communicating, and at the risk of sounding super hokey, I like something that was created and manufactured here, and you know, I am hokey and prone to patriotism, so yeah, it was a great deal.
Well, and Matt, this is a Canadian story. It's also a Canadian tragedy.
Yeah.
We were all talking about how we felt about this, and I was heartbroken watching this. I mean, like, I don't know. One of our tech guys was like, "Oh, I found it very funny," and I'm like, "But I found it a tragedy."
Yeah. You know what? I want to remind people that on a long enough timeline, everything fails. Right? And so if we were doing this interview in 2007, it would be a triumph story. And so Apple and the iPhone may be a joke in the year 2040, and we may be thinking, oh, though they couldn't see the future, oh, they had no vision, and all their success will have meant nothing. Yeah. Because of the way the world works, it's as soon as something has failed, that's the story. But the fact is, these are two Canadians who invented the smartphone and changed all of history. You could make an argument, and I do, that they might be two of the most important Canadians ever in terms of affecting the world, because we live in their future right now.
Yeah, and Jay, is that what attracted you to this story and to this project?
Yeah, well, I was a fan of his for years, and
not a fan of iPhones.
And not a fan of iPhones, I'm eagerly awaiting the future where it becomes obsolete, and everyone's like, "Wait, there was a time where you didn't use your
keyboard on a phone?
Bumhole as a phone?" I don't know, whatever.
Whoa!
Are we just talking? Stop that. Nobody tuning in to see that. I was a fan of his, and he wrote a hell of a script, and it also was like, I care a great deal about trying to, tell stories about us, you know, and they don't always, you know, there's a lot of, lucky enough to have a lot of gigs here, but they're not always about us, and we often shoot ourselves for other places and stuff like that. Toronto and Vancouver and Montreal stand in for a lot of places, so it was nice to shoot in Waterloo and to be shooting it as Waterloo, and so yeah, I just think it's like, what I care about is we have interesting stuff here, and I think at the risk of not wanting to sound like certain other cultures, we bury stuff and we just move on, and some stuff is worth talking about, and this is like how the world interacts in the 21st century, stands on the shoulders of what these guys did. So.
And it is being talked about. It premiered, the world premiere at the Berlin Film Festival. Great response there.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
How do you feel about the response and the reaction?
You know, as a filmmaker, I think most of your emotion gets dealt with in the actual production. And since then, I'm just happy people have responded to it. But I'm not elated. It's not like I'm thinking like, oh, wow, people are liking it. I was happy when Jay and I first got to watch the film and be like, oh, okay, this is what we wanted to make. And now all the rest of it is just basically press, like you know.
Well,
But by the way,
Thanks for having us.
there's a lot of people, I hate to tell you, Jay, on their iPhones right now raving about this film.
Listen, that's absolutely fine. We'll take what we can get. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, listen, you are both Canadian, obviously. Blackberries, we've been talking about, is a great Canadian story. So we thought this morning, you know what, we would play a little game and see how well you know Canadian inventions, all right?
Whoa.
I'm going to give you a certain item, and you tell us whether or not it was created, made in Canada.
All right.
Great.
Ready? Okay.
Yeah.
First up, the paint roller. The paint roller, was that?
I think it was.
Canadian?
I'm going to guess yes because it's so esoteric. Yeah, I say yes as well.
You would be correct. Yes, created in 1940 by Norman Brakeley. Died before he could patent it, unfortunately. An American holds the patent now, but the paint roller is a Canadian creation.
There it is. Again.
I'm amazed it was that late.
That's what happens when
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I'm amazed it was that late.
Canadian entrepreneurship clashes with the monster of American capitalism.
Oh, yeah.
all right, next question. Are we ready?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's throw it up. Here we go. I don't have it on me. I'm not
All right,
picking
it
it
is
up.
IMAX right
Okay.
here. You see
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
the
we
big
know-
screen on
I'm
our
a
big
Habs
screen.
fan. I'm a Montreal boy. So, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
we know IMAX film was Canadian.
Yeah.
There
Yes.
you go.
Invented
All
by
right.
Canadian filmmakers back in 1967. How about aspirin? What do you think about aspirin?
What?
I think no.
I think no.
Yeah.
Unless they're all yes.
Yeah, right. I wonder.
Oh, you got the ding. You're right.
Yeah, okay.
We were due for a no. Like, we're not
Right.
that great.
That was
Well,
a
look,
German creation.
Yes, okay.
Right.
Okay, we got one
Canadians
more.
aren't
We
so
have one more.
stressed.
One more
it's
for
a German
you.
headache drug.
Yeah. Egg carton. Was the egg carton a Canadian creation?
It certainly feels like it.
How were eggs being transported before is the question.
In a basket with a napkin.
That's about like industrial chicken farming.
It feels like, because it is so, it makes perfect sense. It's very pragmatic.
And it's quaint.
And deeply unappealing, like the bag of milk. So that's why I have to, it feels like something we'd give the
we would
world.
do.
I'm going to guess no, just so that we have some variance. And I think that must have been a European invention, but tell us.
Guess what? Jay Baruchel, you got it. You know it.
There's
Made
the double
in
smash.
Canada.
Nice.
Okay.
Actually, in the tiny town of Smithers, BC.
Smithers.
What year? What year? Does it say what year?
I don't have that information.
Oh, I'd love to know. I'd love
you
to
know
know.
I guarantee you they all know.
Yeah, right. In Smithers.
The 40 people up in Smithers.
Well, you know what? As soon as we're done here, we'll look it up on our iPhones.
Right.
God damn you.
Yeah.
God damn you.
Ask Siri.
Well, Blackberry hits theaters May 12th. Guys, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for
in.
having us. This was a pleasure.
And sorry.
Yeah.